Welcome to No Room for Phonies, episode 152.
Finding financial freedom.
So today we're talking about financial freedom, not in a flashy kind of overnight wealth kind of a thing.
Oh yeah, that's
like the wealthy barber, but in the very real lived experience sense. The kind of freedom that shows up as less stress, more choice, and a deeper sense of control over how you live your life.
Financial freedom isn't about having endless money. It's about understanding your relationship with money, being intentional with your decisions, and creating enough margin that money stops being the loudest voice in the room.
In this episode, we're going to explore what financial freedom actually looks like in everyday life, financial literacy, spending habits, debt, mindset, planning for uncertainty, and the long game of legacy and generational impact. And we're also going to talk about the small practical steps that help turn awareness into real change.
This is a conversation about living well, making thoughtful choices, and aligning your money with your values. Thanks for joining us here on No Room for Phonies.
So the first thing is, in order to have financial freedom, is that you also have to have financial literacy. So you have to start with the basics. So
it's disappointing that our high school system doesn't teach financial literacy.
And I think it's also disappointing that parents don't teach it a bit more.
Yeah.
I wish we had a bit more for our kids.
Mm-hmm.
They certainly had an understanding that they couldn't just have anything they wanted.
Yes.
But you can join an online community, or what we did was we found a financial advisor.
And you can go back and listen to our episode with him.
Yeah. We have a relationship with him that's comfortable and makes sense. You can also take a course, read a book, listen to a podcast, take the time that you need to understand what works and get help in the areas where you need help. So that's kind of that.
Yeah. And financial freedom is not being always stressed about money and not living paycheck to paycheck. So you have to think what your priorities are, what you're wasting money on. Do you want to live for instant gratification or the future? Is there anything of debt that's good debt, or
having a house is me is good debt?
How much time per week or per day do you spend managing your finances?
And then number 3 about financial freedom is being able to weather economic shifts like inflation or job loss or market downturns.
Or certain elections.
Yeah. So when are you able to handle fluctuating interest rates? Like there were a lot of times on a mortgage
had to lock
where
in.
we didn't. We locked in. What kind of a car should you buy or do you need? And what clothes do you need? Do you need the renovation or the trip? What do you do with your investments regularly? Do you pull them, change them, hang in for the long haul? Do you take responsibility for the financial decisions and the choices that you make?
Yeah. A fourth aspect of financial freedom is having legacy or generational impact. Finding a good balance between spending and ensuring that you have money to live well and giving money to your children while you're alive. And also making sure that your children don't have to worry about managing your estate after you're gone. And that means as soon as you have a partner, even if you don't have children, is to ensure that you have a proper will.
And I think the other one that makes a lot of sense is to make sure that if you need to, that you have life insurance that helps the people left to be able to manage things properly.
Yeah. And that's kind of a non-negotiable, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So number 5 is having control and choice over career and travel and lifestyle. And the desire to have some kind of a passive income, if you can figure out how to do that. Freedom to kind of live the life you want, to make a difference. You can choose to travel. You can choose to stay home. You can be accountable to yourselves as a couple and make decisions that are right for you. So I think,
and I don't think all seasons of life is it possible to have freedom to live the life you want.
No.
Well,
and when you have children and when you're trying to pay for them to go to school, we carried a lot of debt at that time.
Yes, but we also thought it was valuable to have some sort of summer vacation, like a short trip.
Yep.
And we didn't want Christmas to be sad, so that's what
those
are our decisions.
We balanced it all out, and now we're fine.
The number 6 is being able to analyze your spending. And nowadays with software for it, it's really easy to look for patterns and set up budgets and goals. Use a spreadsheet, or Pam does it paper and pencil. That's just how it works. And looking at your credit card and bank statement once every month, I would say.
At least.
About daily.
Well,
or weekly.
I have a little bit less now that we have a bit more money, but when we were
when it was
like
paycheck
tight,
to paycheck.
I was like looking, and I mean, we were never really paycheck to paycheck.
No, we always had
a float
and a safety fund.
Yes.
Yeah.
But knowledge is power, and change comes from being honest with yourself about your spending and taking responsibility for your financial habits.
Right. So like when you're upset with, that credit card, I can't pay off the principal this month. It's like, well, but it was me who chose to buy those things that made that principal go up. Number 7, the seventh aspect of financial freedom is to establish some bigger financial mileposts, like paying off a car, building your savings account. Working with a financial investor can really help with this, especially paying off debt.
Yeah, well, we had one guy who was kind of like, just invest in all this. And then when we got with Kyle, he was like, paying off debt is the single most responsible act that you can make toward financial freedom. Mm-hmm. And we have really found that you really aren't saving
go ahead,
if you're continuing to pay off debt.
Yeah, we should have fired our first financial advisor sooner. But anyway, we'll let you learn from our mistakes.
Yeah, if you don't have a pension plan, then that's something important to establish early and with a reputable financial advisor,
reputable doesn't just mean that they're part of one of the bigger groups that have franchises all over the country. No, that's not necessarily a reputable financial advisor. Okay, the 8th one.
Don't rack up credit card debt. Check your credit card at least weekly and always pay it off.
Yeah. And that's one thing our sons did learn and do. Don't pay more than you should for things. So, you don't want to necessarily buy the cheapest item, but also don't get crazy with status and brand names and just spend because...
Well, and I'll give the example of buying the vanities. Like on the weekend, we went to Canadian Tire, we went to Home Depot, and then I said, there's this bathroom depot place in St. Catharines. We should check it out. And actually, that was the best deal.
And the quality of is
much better.
Was better than the particle board from
Learn
Canadian
to shop
Tire.
And compare, especially for big items, and to not always buy the cheapest, which we said.
Because then you end up tossing it and having to buy again.
And do your very best to act slowly, carefully, and thoughtfully when you're buying.
Yeah, walk away. Mm-hmm. Give yourself, an hour. If you don't have that kind of thing, maybe plan for come back in 4 days if it's a big ticket item.
Yeah. So a mindset, the last part is about a mindset that reflects a positive relationship with money.
Yeah, so there's several points we want to talk about that builds this mindset about the positive.
So the first one is abundance mentality. Shift from believing money is scarce to recognizing opportunities for growth and abundance. Yeah. So opportunities for saving.
Even thinking of penny pinching in your personal budget doesn't have to be, this is so sad. It could be an opportunity.
Well, and coupon clipping and saving and all that sort of thing.
Yeah. Not buying processed food. So taking personal responsibility. So acknowledge that you are the architect of your own financial future and avoid blaming external factors for your situation.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's easy now to say, well, groceries are so expensive and this is so expensive and that is so expensive.
And my parents don't give you anything.
And I can't buy a house but in the end, we're responsible for what happens to our own lives. And we have to just live with whatever is happening in the world. That's just the way it is. Mm-hmm. Vote somebody else in if you don't like it.
Focus on opportunities, not obstacles. So
when you have a challenge, it's a chance to learn and find a solution and not to say that it's insurmountable. So maybe I won't be able to buy a house by the time I'm 30. Maybe I have to wait till I'm 40, but it's still a goal.
Right. Thinking big and setting clear goals. So you want to set ambitious and specific financial goals and believe in your ability to achieve them. What helps direct your actions and stay motivated. So you can think a year out, 3 years out, and 5 years out.
Valuing continuous learning, that is kind of what we were saying before about, learning about personal finance and investing and tax laws. That's really important. Or if you don't want to learn about them yourself, find a financial advisor. I mean, our particular person is really good with questions and things.
And for a while there, we hired an accountant to do our taxes when I was self-employed, and it got complicated.
Prioritize savings, pay yourself first, adopt that habit of saving and investing a portion of your income, which we do.
And then live below your means. So intentionally spend less than you earn to create a surplus for savings, investments, and debt repayment.
Yeah. So, breathe. You don't have to compare yourself to the people across the street who, go on a cruise every month. You can just do things differently and it's fine. And if you have to live below your means, if you don't live below your means, you're in trouble.
Yeah. There's no way.
Embrace calculated risks, which we kind of did when you started getting involved with Wealth Simple, and we threw $1,000 in there and just played around a little bit. And so far it's worked out fine. Build multiple income streams. So, I mean, I think that's...
Well, we're not at the stage anymore of doing that, but you talk about our kids, they talk about, they haven't said, let's buy a dry cleaners, but like that idea of finding a business that's kind of going to be there.
A rental company.
Something that's not going to be taken over by AI and have a passive source. Even like my colleague who bought apartments and rented them to students.
Yeah. So, and then practicing gratitude and generosity. So be grateful for whatever your current situation is, and having that gratitude can attract more abundance. And then giving back. I know I've had people say I can't give back because, I can't donate things because I don't have enough money to do that. But in the end, if you donate, you claim that on your income tax, and it helps against your income. So why bother focusing on financial freedom? And
so first of all, you get peace of mind and reduced stress. Financial freedom eliminates the anxiety of living paycheck to paycheck and worrying about bills and unexpected expenses.
So freedom of choice, it gives you the autonomy to make life decisions aligned with your values and goals, rather than just feeling under pressure all the time.
Yeah. Early retirement potential. Achieving financial independence means that traditional retirement timelines become optional, allowing you to retire sooner if you choose.
Yeah. A career flexibility. You can select a job. You might be able to do a passion project or an encore career you're heading towards, that might pay less without worrying about meeting a whole bunch of financial obligations.
Time with loved ones. Financial independence provides the flexibility to spend more quality time with family and friends and not to have to work a 72-hour work week.
Security and planning for emergencies, having savings, investments, and emergency funds just make it so much easier. I know that when we had your diagnosis, the fact that we had a bit of flexibility meant that we didn't have to worry about staying in an Airbnb or ordering food or doing certain things, because
we had a slush fund,
and we didn't have to look to other people to help us.
Right.
We were independent, which sometimes, it gets a little old when people are always asking for money for things.
Yeah. Ability to build generational wealth. You can create a lasting financial legacy, passing on valuable financial knowledge and assets to future generations, even if it's saving for your children's post-secondary education or and more types of things once you've moved off of this earth.
So, and also improve physical and mental health, because there's less financial anxiety, and you can have a little bit we can buy bikes, we have equipment for working out. I go to Pilates because even though it's
it's not claimable,
and it's not claimable right now, it's something that's within our we can afford to do it because we have that financial freedom.
Yeah, gym memberships for some people and stuff like that. Yeah. And you can learn the confidence to take calculated risks with a secure financial foundation. You can explore new ventures, start a business, or invest in new opportunities.
And just opportunities to help others with financial freedom allows you to kind of contribute to causes you care about, volunteer your time, and then I can do some things for other people and for our kids without really like worrying about it.
Exactly.
But financial freedom doesn't arrive all at once, and it doesn't come from one perfect decision. It's just built.
I would disagree. Starting account book or account software, that's a decision. That's one perfect decision.
One perfect decision.
But other than
keeping
that,
track, right? Yeah. But it's built gradually through awareness, responsibility, a willingness to look honestly at how you earn and spend and save and plan.
What we hope you take away from today's conversation is that financial freedom is less about restriction and more about choice. Choice in how you work, how you live, how you give, and how you prepare for the future, for yourselves and for those you care about.
And progress doesn't require mastery. It requires attention, looking at the numbers, asking better questions, acting a little more slowly and a little more intentionally. Over time, with consistency, all of that just compounds to give you a better financial foundation, basically.
As always, we're grateful you've chosen to spend part of your time with us. If this episode sparked reflection or conversation, we'd love for you to share it with someone who might need it. Or leave us a comment and let us know what financial freedom means to you right now.
And then on January 15th, we're going to talk about consistently developing grounded financial habits. So some more specific
things on the habit side.
So until next time, keep choosing clarity, keep living deliberately, and remember, there's no room for phonies.
Good night.